So, it's been just over 3 months since I started wearing the Galaxy Watch Ultra, and yeah, it definitely stirred up a lot of buzz. People were quick to label it a clone, calling it Samsung's take on the Apple Watch Ultra. I've already shared why I think that's an oversimplification, but now that I've used it daily, workouts, sleep, meetings, you name it, has my opinion changed? Let's get into this full breakdown of the Galaxy Watch Ultra. I'll walk you through what frustrated me, what impressed me, and a few things you might not notice until you've had it on your wrist for a while. All right, let's talk about this design, because it's bold. When Samsung first showed off the Galaxy Watch Ultra, I remember pausing the promo video and just saying out loud, "Wait, what? A round display dropped into a squared-off frame?" It looked like a design team couldn't agree on anything and just mashed ideas together. But 3 weeks in, I'll admit it, this thing has grown on me. It's chunky, sure, but it has presence. I've gotten more comments on this watch than I did wearing the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro or even the Apple Watch Series 10. It stands out in a good way, kind of like that one friend who makes a weird first impression but turns out to be the most interesting person in the room. And despite what people are saying, this doesn't feel like a copy of Apple's Ultra line. To me, it's more like a ruggedized evolution of the old Samsung Gear Sport. Remember that one? Now let's get into something I really don't like, the band. Specifically, the one Samsung decided to ship with this thing. Honestly, it's awful. It looks and feels like a low-effort afterthought. Like, who approved this? It's not stylish, and it's not particularly comfortable. It's like putting cheap shoelaces on a luxury sneaker. They also toss in the Peakform band, which is slightly better, but neither option really complements a premium watch. And because Samsung went with a new connector style, old bands won't work, and third-party options are still limited. But the good news is those new bands are starting to pop up online, and thankfully they're not too pricey. Where did the rotating bezel go? Now for a controversial change, the rotating bezel is gone. Not physically gone, but non-functional. I know a lot of longtime Samsung fans love that tactile clicky control, and honestly, so did I. I'm guessing Samsung axed it for durability, especially since they're leaning into that whole ultra-athletic vibe. But here's the thing, the new touch bezel, surprisingly solid, super responsive, very fluid, and thanks to the raised edges, your finger doesn't slip off the way it sometimes did on the Watch 6. Plus, the fixed bezel acts like a bumper, keeping the display safe from scratches. I've bumped mine against gym equipment and walls, and there's not a single scuff. Battery life. Absolutely one of the best battery life is where the Galaxy Watch Ultra completely redeems itself. I can't stand smartwatches that need daily charging. And thankfully, this one doesn't. Even with the always-on display, constant notifications, heart rate tracking, and sleep monitoring turned on, I'm getting well over 2 days per charge. Right now, it's been just over 50 hours since my last full charge, and I've still got 18% left. If I use power saving, I can stretch it to nearly 4 days. And that's without babying the thing. That said, charging it? Not great. It takes close to 2 hours to fully juice up from 0 using the included charger, and there's no fast charging, which, at this price point, feels like a missed opportunity. Oh, and reverse wireless charging? Gone. You can still plug your charger into your phone and juice it that way, but being able to just plop it on the back of a Galaxy device was super convenient. Not a deal breaker, but definitely a downgrade. The performance here is rock solid, no lags, no weird slowdowns, no missed notifications. Apps load fast, animations are clean, and the interface feels tight. Samsung's done a great job optimizing One UI Watch 5.5, and this combo of software and hardware is easily one of the most polished smartwatch experiences I've had. There's a new gesture feature called Double Pinch, where you tap your thumb and index finger together to do things like answer calls or control music. It's cool in theory, and when it works, it's handy. But right now, it's kind of hit or miss. There's a little icon that pops up to show when it's usable, but I often find myself repeating the gesture to get it to register. I love that Samsung plans to support this watch for 4 years. It gives me hope they'll improve this with updates. Let's talk about this display, because it's one of the highlights. It hits a peak brightness of 3000 nits. That's bright, like See it in direct sunlight with sunglasses on bright. Colors are vibrant, text is crisp, and the larger screen means your workout stats, notifications, or music controls are all easy to read at a glance. It also uses sapphire crystal for the glass, which is a huge durability win. I've been pretty rough on this watch. Hikes, weights, biking, and there's not a single scratch. And the customizable quick button? It's placed perfectly and can launch any app or shortcut you want. It's such a small feature, but it makes a big difference once you get used to it. Health tracking is where Samsung continues to dominate. One of the standout features this year is the energy score. It gives you a score every morning that basically tells you how ready your body is for the day, factoring in your sleep, heart rate variability, and recent activity. And it's weirdly accurate. I had a chill weekend and woke up with a 92. Then, after a bad night's sleep and a stressful day, it dropped to 58. It also has sleep apnea detection and the Ages Index. Sleep apnea tracking isn't rolled out in all regions yet, which is disappointing because it was a huge reason I wanted this watch. And the Ages Index? Kind of confusing. It gives you this marker on a chart to indicate your risk of things like diabetes and stroke, but no context, no tips on improving it, just a chart. It's there, but right now, it's more of a mystery than a useful tool. On the bright side, everything else, from heart rate to blood pressure, ECG, SpO2, works beautifully. I even tested it against a traditional blood pressure cuff, and the results were nearly identical. Workout tracking is also great. The Galaxy Watch Ultra auto-detects things like walking, running, and strength training, and the stats are super detailed. Sleep tracking continues to be excellent with breakdowns of stages, restfulness, blood oxygen levels, and even coaching tips after a few days of data. Samsung Health is honestly one of the best apps for fitness tracking, and the fact that all of this is free, no monthly fees, is a huge plus. Watch Ultra isn't perfect. The bands are ugly, the charging speed is slow, and some features, like ages or gesture controls, feel half-baked. And yeah, it's definitely a premium device, especially when the regular Galaxy Watch 7 gives you 80 to 90% of the same experience for a lot less. But here's the thing, this watch feels special. It's bold, it's functional, it stands out. If you're someone who wants a smartwatch that can keep up with you, look different from everything else out there, and deliver serious health and fitness tools, this is a great option. If you want to check it out, I've dropped some links below. And if you're still wondering whether this is just Samsung copying Apple, I've got a whole video breaking that down. Click right here and I'll see you there.